Hello, I am Ben, and this is the Ben Talk Sports Show. I am Ben, that is Noah, and we're doing another mock draft. As you can note, we're not in a normal space, so you might hear other sounds because we don't have headphones. I'm the one who actually did any research for this. He's just here. He's going to react to my positional choices.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this out of the way.
And by the way, the lighting in this room is terrible.
Terrible, just ignore it.
But you might even be able to hear the show.
Is there a reason this isn't working?
Yeah, I mean, I might have hit a button.
What the fuck did you do to this?
I don't know what I did.
Noah broke the laser pointer.
I broke the laser pointer.
Is it on?
I was just playing around with it. Try hitting the connect thing again.
Is it dead?
I didn't.
Is it dead now?
You just deaded it. The laser pointer thing. It was working for me.
What are you doing up there, bro?
It down.
There we go. All right. Well,
that's how that works.
We ruined the. All right. Well, let's try again. 3, 2, 1. Hello. This is the Ben Talk Sports Show. I am Ben.
This is Noah. Hello. This is like the fourth
third time trying to return it. I'm getting emails now. Why am I getting emails?
That's text. There's clothes next to me.
Yeah, we're not at home. We don't have headphones either. This is just going to be a mess of a video. You can hear some TV show in the background. I'm looking at my notes off my phone. But Noah's not an expert. He's going to be reacting to my mock draft. This is number 2. Okay, Trevor Lawrence. Duh. Moving on. No, I do not want to edit it. I actually don't like this. Is Zach Wilson. They have people, and the Jets are saying that he's most likely going to go number 2. Quarterback at BYU. He looks very talented. Looked like a very decent quarterback. He had looked great on pro day. I don't love this pick. I think they should draft a not quarterback and build around first. But I understand if they want to get their quarterback.
And if you're going to pick somebody, I would rather do Fields because.
Yep, I mean both look good. They're going to be pretty similar prospects.
No, they're going to be pretty similar. Just that's my personal thing.
Yep. Number 3. This is the 49ers pick. 49ers have the number 3 pick through Houston's original pick through Miami. They take Justin Fields. People are saying they're going to take Trey Lance. Fields is the better prospect. I think he fits better with what Shanahan wants.
Yeah.
I think Shanahan wants somebody who has a good mobility, but also has a great, consistent arm now, right? Mac Jones does not have a great leg. He's not super fast, and Lance doesn't have the arm yet. Lance is a more developmental piece. I think this makes so much sense.
Yep. And the thing is, the reason a lot of people are saying Lance is Shanahan does not care about your arm power at all, really. Yeah. He's much more of a just get the ball to Kittle.
Kittle.
I know.
Ayuk.
Yeah, and like
all those guys, all the weapons.
Ayuk might develop to be a downfield threat, but
that's not what they need. They need a quarterback who's going to win and throw the football.
Yeah, so I like I said, I like Justin Fields, but I would also put Wilson here if Wilson wasn't going for the Jets.
Yep. Okay, this is obvious. No, this sounds not obvious. Sorry. So this is kind of a weird topic. People think they're going to take a quarterback. This is where I put in my own opinion. They should not take a quarterback. I think that their offense is okay right now. I think they actually, if they get their defense together, they can actually compete. So I think that they take Micah Parsons, a linebacker at Penn State. There are other defenders who are kind of in that range, but we have to see how healthy they stay.
I don't mind this. I think really they should blow it up. So the draft pick doesn't really matter to me. I like trying to grab a linebacker, just throwing something out there, seeing if he sticks. And obviously, if he's going 4th pick, I'm assuming he's.
Some people rate him a little bit lower than I put him at, but I think that this makes sense for the Falcons to take.
It's that's showing up on camera.
Okay. Number 5 pick. This one everybody knows is going to happen. Penei Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon, pretty much the highest rated offensive lineman in the draft by far, and the Bengals need to protect Joe Burrow now.
And if they don't, Cincinnati will riot.
And the rest of the NFL will force the Bengals to trade him.
Yes.
For his own safety.
And maybe just delete the Bengals.
No more Andrew Luck. This is actually an interesting one. I think they take Jamar Chase, wide receiver at LSU. He's pretty much the highest ranked wide receiver. But there's a bunch of wide receivers looking around. I think they need to get weapons for Tua. They're not taking a quarterback yet. They're not that desperate. They're going to see what they can do. They're going to add some more weapons.
I don't hate this, but like the thing with wide receivers, they're hit or miss, right?
They are really hit or miss.
And especially with the guys that are still bopping around the NFL, I don't love taking such a wide receiver so high. But I've seen him play. I can definitely say that I think he's going to be. There's most likely he's going to be a good player.
Yeah,
he has the chance to turn into.
And they just said Will Fuller. It's this guy, Will Fuller, and Devontae Parker. So it's not like they're going to be without a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver 1 though, and I think he has the potential to do it.
I don't hate this pick.
Yep. This is a pick that's going to get some controversy. I think they take Kyle Pitts, very strong looking, very good tight end coming out of Florida. I think it makes a lot of sense. People saying he's going to take a quarterback. I don't see you take. I don't understand the idea of taking a quarterback that high because you're going to have to pay millions of dollars when you already have Jared Goff. I think what makes more sense is you build pieces around Goff, and then when you finally get rid of Goff's contract, you sign someone or draft someone then.
Well, I don't like this pick because tight ends get injured.
The thing is, he's a very athletic. Like, look at his build, right? He's built like a wide receiver, right? He is built like a wide receiver.
I understand that.
The coach is also a tight ends coach. He also coached tight ends.
Whenever you have that guy who's going to be blocking, right? We've already heard what the coach is going to build this. If he stays true to what he said, and he says that they're going to be
a tough team,
a tough team, that doesn't really fit this type of tight end. And not only that, tight ends don't have a long shelf life.
Yeah.
So I would, if I wanted to build, I would put either an O-lineman defensive end, or maybe try to grab a cornerback or somebody that I know is going to stick around for for the rebound.
Unfortunately, the problem with this where they pick right now is there's a lot of the quarterback that's left right now is Trey Lance and Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Neither of which I don't think you pick a quarterback.
I don't think they pick a quarterback. Like I said, I don't
think
they're
a couple of O-linemen, but the O-linemen I have in this draft in this area are kind of reaches. So I think this is the best value pick for them.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to last long enough to live throughout the tank.
And they do have T.J. Hawkinson. They have some tight ends already, but I think it makes sense to look for some more weapons. And if they can convert him to wide receiver, I don't think anybody would be mad.
I disagree with the pick, but I'm not going to change it.
Okay. This is pick number 8. You guys have heard I disagree with Trey Lance. I don't like this pick, but it makes a lot of sense for Carolina because of that read option RPO thing with McCaffrey would be so much fun to watch. And Matt Rule is one of the best developmental head coaches we've seen, right? Look at what he did at Baylor. Look at what he's doing already with the defenses. I think it makes a lot of sense that he might take a chance to try to develop Trey Lance into more of a throwing quarterback, something like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
You have expressed very strong opinions about Trey Lance, and so I'm not really sure why this is in your mock draft.
Well, I'm trying to mix a bit of my opinion and what I think teams are going to actually do.
I don't think that this many quarterbacks should be going this high. It's not like last draft where it was
that is not the opinion that matters in this, is it? Teams are quarterback hungry right now, especially at the bottom, right?
I will just say I don't really think this is needed, but go ahead.
Okay, pick number 9 is the Broncos. Broncos in a very strange spot. Makes a lot of sense for them to take a quarterback. I think that's their main hole, but Rashawn Slater is a good O-lineman, and they could always use more depth on the O-line. Just try to make everybody comfortable. Try to give Drew Lock a little bit more time back there. I don't know what other holes they really have. They filled that secondary hole really well in the offseason. I have no clue what the Broncos are going to do. It's possible they trade out of the spot.
Yeah, O-lineman isn't terrible, but I don't think Lock's going to be good enough is the answer.
Do you see them taking Mac Jones, though? Is he tall enough for Elway?
I can see them. I think picking Mac Jones could be a good idea.
There's also a couple quarterbacks in the second round I don't cover here.
Really,
Kyle Trask and something Mond or two.
Well, if you're gonna pick a quarterback, you pick Mac Jones.
That's true. Well, they think
Mac Jones in a way is kind of a glorified Drew Lock.
Yeah. Okay. And speaking of Mac Jones, I think there's a possibility of Dallas trading this pick away for the 20th pick and maybe a future first or something like that, just because not a lot of great defensive pieces going around this area. And the Bears will take Mac Jones. I hope they know that they cannot start a season with Andy Dalton and not have a backup plan.
Oh, Trubisky's over Dalton right now, I believe.
Trubisky's in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I don't think I need to go into that much detail. We all know Chicago needs a quarterback, plain and simple.
I totally forgot about the Trubisky trade.
The Giants, I have taken Devonta Smith. He was the Heisman Trophy. Now, this could also be replaced for the other guy. I cannot remember who it is off the top of my head.
And I really like this.
Jalen Waddle. But they need wide receivers right now.
I really like this pick because I think the Giants are in a great position. It's the Giants and the football team are in kind of the same position with a strong defense, which is very hard to get.
A young quarterback-ish weird quarterback situation, and then wide receivers.
The only other thing I could see going on here is if Mac Jones falls, they might take him.
Yeah, or they might trade out of that spot for the Bears or maybe even the Patriots. I don't know if I noted this, but I think the Patriots might trade up for the number 10 pick.
But another thing is, I could also see them taking secondary.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Because
they signed a couple wide receivers. They signed one wide receiver. Was it Galladay? They signed one of them. Maybe it was Marvin Jones. They signed somebody in the offseason from the Lions.
I think it was Galladay.
But I think I don't know if they want Sterling Shepard to be the number 2 option. I think they want a little bit more. I think they should look.
Shepard's
for a little bit more
not going to be there for the
availability.
glory days. He's
not.
He's not.
Okay, and the Eagles are going to be the Eagles, and they try to draft another wide receiver. They take Jalen Waddle. It's possible that Jalen Waddle goes before Smith, but I think both teams take a wide receiver. It's not the best pick for the Eagles to make, but I think they're going to be stupid enough to do it.
I think the Eagles are screwed and should blow up the whole thing.
That's also true. 13, the Chargers are in a really weird spot just because they're kind of waiting to see where they need to fill holes in because they've had one season, and it might just be the coaching staff that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
But they're in the division with the Chiefs. It's always good to get secondary help, and the highest rated cornerback in the draft is Patrick Surtain, the second. They got to start filling in pieces. I see either defense or O-lineman, and just based on the O-lineman in this ranking positioning, I think they go with the cornerback here in Patrick Surtain.
Nope, cornerbacks are hard to get, and if he pans out, that's a really good pick.
Minnesota Vikings do a very similar thing. J.C. Horn. They did sign Patrick Peterson in the offseason, but he is no longer a CB number 1 at this point in his career. He's around 30. He's aging. You need to find a CB1, and I think they take a shot at it here. If this doesn't work, of course, they're going to have to blow it up really soon because they are spending a lot of money on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins needs to go. If I'm a Vikings guy, I mean, honestly, at what point can you say we're not going to win?
Yeah,
we need to get as much picks as we can for the future. Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
Goes. So, I mean, this is putting lipstick on a pig. I don't really think that that's going to work out, but, you know.
All right, now the Patriots are interesting. They could obviously trade up for that number 10 spot, trying to take Mac Jones, right?
Yes.
But I also see it possible they wait for Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond in the 2nd or 3rd round and try to get a quarterback then, like we know Bill Belichick loves to do. But what's the most Belichick thing you can do? Draft an offensive lineman in the 1st round or trade back. I think they take Christian Darrisaw. He's a let me see what position he is. I don't have it marked down. He's an offensive lineman of some sort. And, of course, Thunny Walk, that offensive lineman that they had that was a beast last year. He went to Kansas City. This could be a replacement. I think it's pretty simple. I mean, it's obvious they could trade up or back. If they stay where they are, I think they take Darrisaw.
No, don't hate it. The Patriots are going for the last run, basically.
The Patriots are the Patriots. You never know what they're going to do next. Cardinals, Caleb Farley, another cornerback. You're in the NFC West. You got to have cornerbacks. They made a bunch of fantastic additions to that front line with Chandler Jones now. I think they might have re-signed him. He's still there. And J.J. Watt, obviously, right?
Yeah.
That front line is set. You got to add pieces to the back. And I think this makes a lot of sense. They added Malcolm Butler, but again, I don't know if he's your CB1 anymore. You got to add another piece, and I think they go here. Any disagreement on that?
No, like I said before, cornerbacks hard to get. I think that division has some great teams. So
It's going to be a tough division.
It's going to be, and it's embarrassing they didn't make the playoffs last year. They lost it to the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears?
Which, I mean, makes the Bears not a threat anymore because they re-signed everybody.
I mean,
Kyle Fuller's still a free agent, so it's possible he goes to Arizona too. Pick 17. The Raiders need defensive help, and there's not a ton of defensive pieces here, so I think they take Kwity Paye. He's a edge rusher out of Michigan. It's possible to take another cornerback, but he's pretty much the best defender that I see at this pick 17, and, you know, always getting more pressure on, especially with the thinness of the O-lines in that division, right? In Denver, Kansas City, and the Chargers.
Kansas City is reamped their line, though.
You might be able to get away with a weak enough secondary if you can get some pressure. I don't know.
Against the Chiefs, not so much, but against Locke, if you put any pressure on him, you won.
Yeah.
Chargers, Herbert's a great quarterback, but they don't have an O-lineman.
Yeah.
So I think that
adding pressure will be helpful.
Yeah, I don't hate this pick.
Okay. Now it's possible to just take the fastest cornerback alive, and we'll see what happens with that. Because they're the
I just realized how crappy the lighting was in this
It's
video.
bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay. Pick 18. The Dolphins have another pick, obviously. Pick their actual pick this time. This guy's a bit of a reach. Zaven Collins. The Dolphins are kind of just waiting to see how Tua develops at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing they did lose is they cut Kyle Van Noy. He's a linebacker who could replace Kyle Van Noy possibly. And
Maybe.
with how well that team has done developmentally wise and how strong they made that defense work together, I think it makes sense that they could develop him.
I also think it's crazy that they did not re-sign Kyle Van Noy, but you know
They didn't. They let Ryan Fitzpatrick walk too.
well, that's okay.
Ron Rivera has said they're going to have a QB. They're actually going to have a QB competition this year because they didn't last year and hurt them.
Ron Rivera or
Yeah, Ron Rivera for the Reds for the football team. I'm like, yeah. I wonder if the quarterback not having quarterback competition hurt you starting Dwayne Haskins.
He wasn't there. He was in a hospital.
That's true. Okay, pick 19. Rashad Bateman, he's a wide receiver. Again, I'm not sure what their main hole is. It could be, who knows, maybe Heineke's the right answer for quarterback. I think they just try to get more weapons around him, and, Rashad Bateman is a weapon.
I think what they should do is, I think they should basically stack up on weapons and then grab a quarterback at the last.
That's what this is.
Essentially do what the Buccaneers did and basically make an offense and defense so good that putting any quarterback in there,
besides Jameis Winston.
Yeah, any quarterback. Well, even with Jameis Winston, you looked at how much they basically
having any competent quarterback.
They basically upgraded Ronald Jones, right?
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette, super invested in the O-line.
Yeah.
And then got a stacked defense. And then so even with Winston, I think they would have been a serious challenge for any team.
And then putting in a QB who's a little bit safer with the football.
And then who's a little bit safer and experienced and playoff
ability.
Yep. Playoff ability. I mean, we're talking about one of the greats all time in Brady. So even if he's a little washed, it doesn't matter. That team was almost too good to fail.
Yep. Okay. Pick 20. This is the Cowboys pick, obviously, when they traded back with Chicago. This is interesting because they need run stopping, but there's no great defensive tackle.
The Cowboys need to blow it up.
So I think they take Greg Rousseau. He's a great edge rusher, it looks like. Decent run stopper, possibly, but if you can commit more to the pass rush, right? You can leave your linebacker a little bit farther back on edge in case there's a run. So I think it makes sense they try to add to the defense here, and this is one of the better defenders left.
Sure. I mean, Cowboys, once again, another team so screwed that it doesn't matter.
Yep. Colts are very interesting. I'm not sure what they need. It's possibly wide receivers, but there's not a lot of great wide receivers left at this point in the draft to go this early. But what does Carson Wentz need to do when he's here? He needs to feel comfortable in that pocket, and adding more depth at the O-line position is a good idea, especially because the tackle was a little bit weaker. And getting someone who can balance off with I'm blanking on the guy's name, the guard for the Colts, who's amazing. Doesn't matter.
Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, adding a little bit more depth to the cornerback to this position.
Did he retire finally?
I think he did, or he got cut out of the league entirely. Pick 22, the Tennessee Titans. They take Azeez Ojulari. He's an edge rusher, and he's hopefully going to be able to help Clowney function, because I don't know what Clowney was doing last year. The Titans' defense was terrible last season, and so hopefully this will help. It's possible they drop some more weapons to try to balance out the lack of wide receivers. They lost a ton of wide receivers, but like I said, there's not a lot of great wide receivers left at this point in the draft.
As Ravens fans, we bathe in the disappointment of the Titans.
Okay.
But no, I don't hate the pick. They need to something to buff up their defense, and apparently he's
decent enough to go here. Do you want to move? Thank you. Okay. This is the Jets' second pick. They take Alijah Vera Tucker, offensive lineman, offensive tackle, guard maybe. Oh, guard. He's a guard. Guard out of USC. Just somebody else to balance out with Mekhi Becton, get that O-line a little bit stronger for Wilson.
Don't hate.
Yep. The Steelers take Tevin Jenkins. They have been stubborn about not dumping Roethlisberger, right?
Yeah.
But they cannot ignore the fact that Pouncey has literally retired, right? That O-line is garbage right now. So this should help add some more offensive linemen.
Yep.
That's the only thing that I could really find. Second projected trade. The Buffalo Bills trade up for the Rams spot, which is currently owned by Jacksonville. They take the only hole I really see them having is a running game right now. And Najee Harris was Alabama's running back last season. It makes a lot of sense.
Very
Probably,
good.
I'm assuming Jacksonville gets the 30th pick and a future first or second. Or something.
The one thing is, I remember watching a couple of games. I don't remember how much of a passing threat he was.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to be a tougher version of the Chiefs, right?
Yeah. There's also a Clemson running back that could take here instead.
I don't know if he's not a passing threat, then don't take him. But what they want is a running back passing threat.
Moving on.
Didn't work.
The Browns, I think, need a quarterback. But there's no quarterback left right now that they want to take in the first round. I think they take defensive tackle Christian Barmore. I think that they need depth at the defensive tackle position because of that division. I think the Steelers are going to be running the ball more with Connor, and the Ravens, of course, are going to be the Ravens and run the football, right? So I think it makes sense to try to get someone who's an interior defensive nose tackle who can help close the gaps.
Question: why are there so many Alabama guys?
Because Alabama is very good at football.
I saw at least
there's
15 of these have been
I can check afterwards. Moving on to the Ravens. This pick, I think, is pretty much set in stone for me, honestly. Jeremiah Owusu-Koromoa. Notre Dame edge rusher. They lost Matthew Judon. They lost not Yannick Ngakoue. They take an edge rusher.
Ravens way need strong defense. Don't hate it.
The Saints are in a very strange position because I don't know what their hole is right now. The problem was quarterback last season, with Drew Brees' arm being broken and Thomas being hurt. They lost Emmanuel Sanders, so I think they take a wide receiver. This is Kadarius Toney, maybe. Florida wide receiver, just to get a second wide receiver option for whoever plays quarterback. He's a little bit of a reach. He's not supposed to go until the second round, but I don't know who else they take.
I mean, this is their last year that they can do anything. So they need to hope this guy is amazing, right?
Good enough wide receiver number 2 for either Taysom Hill or Winston or Jameis Winston to use.
And basically, well, if it's Winston, then Taysom's going to basically be the third string wide receiver.
True. Okay. This is actually a pretty easy pick. Creed Humphreys. They lost Corey Lindsey in the offseason. He's their center, so this guy should be their new center.
Boom.
That was pretty easy.
Oklahoma.
Yep. Jacksonville takes, I have no clue. My guess is Joseph Asai. He's an edge rusher, just Saxonville rebuilt. I don't know. They have a lot of picks. They have a lot of holes, and they could just throw literally anybody at it.
Or Jacksonville.
Well, not for right now. They have a ton of picks. Okay. Again, another reach for the Chiefs because they need a lineman desperately. Jalen Mayfield. They lost like all of their guards and tackles this offseason just because of how much money they paid Mahomes. Hopefully this guy will fill their gap. And the Buccaneers, I have no clue who they need to take. So I gave them Pat Freiermuth. He's a tight end. Maybe he'll replace Gronk. Who the hell knows? He's wearing the same number.
I don't know about Tampa, but I would probably pick a defender just because they needed that defense. The defense was really, I mean, in those playoff games leading up, their defense carried them through. Well, the refs carried them through the Packers game, but the defense carried them.
Super Bowl.
Part of the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs are so bad it didn't matter. But I mean, they need their defense. I feel like the defense kind of carried them through the regular season.
They could take here. I don't know who it is, but they take somebody.
I think they take some sort of rusher, but if you're going to pick somebody on offense, tight end.
Yep. Well, that's our mock draft 2.0. I'll probably be coming up one with a couple of weeks, probably right before the draft. We'll have a new one out. I'll definitely be recording a video reacting to the draft once it happens in late April.
Yeah.
If Noah's there, he'll be there. We will probably come up with more football news in general soon. An actual video.
We can do baseball.
Oh yeah, we can do baseball. The Orioles won a baseball game. Hallelujah. Maybe John Means is the right pitcher for the Orioles. Who the hell knows at this point?
7 innings, 1 hit, not bad.
And he might break his arm in the next 15 minutes. Who the heck knows?
Boom, boom, boom.
And apparently the Nets are good now. Okay, that's it. Bye.
Bye.